dawn, on a dusty forward airbase, a shadow rises. This is the most feared attack helicopter ever built.
Built to hunt tanks, engineered to survive, the Apache has ruled the battlefield for over 40 years. This is the story of the AH-64 Apache, how it was born, how it evolved, and why it still dominates the skies.
The Boeing AH-64 Apache is a twin-engine tandem-seat attack helicopter designed for anti-armor combat.
It carries a pilot and a gunner, seated one behind the other, ready to strike, day or night. Its name honors the Apache people, a symbol of resilience the U.S. Army chose in 1981. Its story begins in the jungles of Vietnam, where the U.S. Army learned it needed a new kind of gunship. In 1972, the Army launched the Advanced Attack Helicopter Program, demanding speed, firepower, and survivability. Hughes Helicopters answered the call, designing a rugged, heavily armed prototype built to outlast punishment. The prototype first flew in 1975. By 1981, it was named the Apache, ready for full development.
Development pushed the design through rigorous testing, refining armor, weapons, and flight control systems. Engineers tested it against 23mm fire, ensuring the crew could survive direct hits. By 1984, the first production AH-64A rolled off the line, ready to enter U.S. Army service. Hughes became McDonnell Douglas, and in 1997, Boeing took full ownership of the Apache program. Every inch of the Apache follows one philosophy: destroy the enemy first and bring the crew home.
Redundant systems mean the aircraft can lose an engine, a hydraulic line, even a rotor blade, and keep flying. The airframe combines aluminum, steel, and composite materials for strength without excess weight. The four main rotor blades are built from steel spars bonded with composite skins for maximum durability. Boron carbide and Kevlar shield the cockpit, capable of stopping small arms fire and shrapnel. Stretching over 17 meters with rotors turning, the Apache dwarfs the soldiers who fly it.
Its rotor disc spans nearly 15 meters, wide enough to overlap 2 city buses end to end. Fully loaded, it weighs over 10,000 kilograms, the mass of several pickup trucks combined. Inside, the pilot sits high in the rear seat, commanding a clear view over the gunner ahead. The gunner below controls the sensors and weapons, guided by a targeting system linked to their own eyes. A transparent blast shield separates the two cockpits, so one crew member can survive if the other is hit.
Energy-absorbing landing gear and a collapsible frame are engineered to protect the crew in a crash. 2 General Electric turboshaft engines power the Apache, mounted high above the fuselage for protection. Each engine produces nearly 1,700 horsepower, giving the Apache the muscle to fly loaded with weapons. The engines drive a transmission strong enough to survive battle damage and keep the rotor turning. At full throttle, the Apache reaches nearly 300 kilometers per hour in level flight.
For lighter targets, Hydra 70 rockets launch in rapid succession from pods beneath the wings.
The nose houses TADS and PNVS, sensors that let the crew see and target through darkness. A helmet display lets the pilot aim the gun simply by turning their head toward the target. The Longbow radar, mounted above the rotor, tracks up to 100 targets at once. This radar sees through smoke, dust, and darkness, giving the Apache total battlefield awareness.
The Apache saw its first combat in 1989, during the United States operation in Panama. In 1991's Desert Storm, Apaches fired the opening shots of the war, destroying enemy radar sites. Since then, Apaches have flown in the Balkans, Iraq, and Afghanistan, logging millions of combat hours. The AH-64D introduced the Longbow radar, giving crews the power to see without being seen. The newest AH-64E Guardian adds digital networking and the ability to control drones mid-flight. Beyond America, Apaches serve in Britain, Israel, Japan, and over a dozen other nations worldwide. Today, more than 2,400 Apaches have been built, with fleets logging over 5 million flight hours. Continuous upgrades keep the Apache relevant, blending decades-old design with modern digital warfare.
Boeing is already testing a compound Apache with added wings and a pusher propeller for even greater speed. From Cold War blueprint to modern battlefield icon, the Apache remains the world's premier attack helicopter.